Wait, what? Common's own mother is out here allegedly hinting at why her son can't keep a woman? I mean, people have been whispering for years about why Common, handsome, successful, smooth-talking, can't seem to make a relationship last. And guess what? We could finally have the real answer. Apparently, it could be more than just bad luck in love. It could be because he might not even want a woman in the first place, allegedly.
I mean, I just wish Lonnie would tell the truth. You bisexual. Clearly you don't love black women because all you do is abuse them socially, always clout chasing off of women. Like, come on, what makes him a relevant rapper anymore? Who really gives a shit?
So, Common and his mom have been close since childhood, as she was a single mom following her divorce from his father, and she's actually seen him through all the relationships he's been in. For reference, Common was in his first public relationship with Kim Jones, and they even had a daughter together, but they split when their daughter was just a year old. Then, from 2000 to 2002, Common was in a relationship with Erykah Badu, and they even collaborated on some songs. In 2005, Common dated Taraji P. Henson, and these two kept their relationship largely private. However, for Taraji, Common was one of the realest long-term relationships she'd ever had, and if it was up to her, they would have even gotten married. Apparently, out of all the women Common dated, Taraji was his mom's favorite, but maybe that changed because Taraji was just the third out of several others. Obviously, the mom had not yet met the other amazing women Common dated, like Serena Williams. Well, in 2010, the two broke up, and based on reports, Serena was the one who initiated the split, and years later, Common did say that he still had love and respect for her. Then, after Serena Williams, Common also dated Angela Rye, but they broke up, got back together, and broke up again before Common moved on to Tiffany Haddish. Next, there was Jennifer Hudson, but other women who have also been part of Common's love story include Ava DuVernay, Jaguar Wright, and even Chadwick Boseman's widow, Simone. Now, here's the question everyone keeps asking. Why, with all the stellar women Common has dated, has he never settled down? Allegedly, this is something even Common's own mother has wondered for years. Like, why can't her son keep a woman? Well, guess what? Word on the street, and allegedly something the mom has hinted at, is that Common may struggle with his and he allegedly has trouble with it being that he was taken advantage of by a man, and it could be possible that he has conflicting feelings when it comes to connecting with women because of that. He actually talked about this in an issue with People magazine where he said he realized it had happened to him much later in life. In his words, "I kind of wiped that out of my mind for a while. For a long time, I had a tendency to do that, to tuck things away in a corner. My journey back to it came with all the work I've been doing on myself, from prayer to meditation to therapy to art. I didn't even realize it happened until I was doing a film called The Tale, which deals with that subject matter. I actually told my co-star Laura Dern, yo, I think this happened to me. It just started coming back to me." Common also said that he had to break the news to the woman he's closest to, his mother, Dr. Mahalia Hines. And surprisingly, the conversation wasn't as heavy as he thought it would be. As for how she processed the information, he said, "I guess she's looking at the end result. She's like, you seem like a happy person." But that's another reason why I talked about it. Some people that seem happy are not always happy. Common also said that his traumatic past doesn't dictate his dating life, but professionals might say otherwise. Actually, I've heard whispers from the street saying that even Common's own mom supposedly believes some of the things he went through in childhood, which he himself has spoken about in the past, may have affected his view of love later in life. Again, this is nothing confirmed, just allegations and speculation floating around. But it does add another layer to the conversation when people start connecting the dots between his past trauma, his dating history, and the rumors about who he truly prefers behind closed doors. Speaking of how the experience may have influenced his love life, when I was doing a bit of digging, I came across a story of someone who said a friend's husband mentioned something strange that happened at a Hollywood event which involved Common. Apparently, he said he was there with his wife, who's connected to the industry, and while she was busy working, Common apparently spent almost an entire hour talking to him, and only him. The funny part is, the guy admitted he didn't even know who Common was until later that night when his wife clued him in. Then, toward the end of the night, around 3 a.m., when his wife texted him to step outside, Common allegedly leaned in and asked, "So what are you doing later tonight?" The husband said he just replied, "Going home with my wife," and that the moment felt very awkward. Apparently, when the person pressed him a few times about whether maybe he misunderstood the vibe, he was adamant and said, "No, it came across exactly the way it sounded." Also, other than this, Jaguar Wright was also out here claiming that Common might actually be on the DL and that he's got his eyes on John Legend. She even said people need to stop pretending and just admit what's going on, which is that they're really just waiting for Chrissy Teigen to go too far with the plastic surgery and end up looking like Jacko so that Common and John can finally move in together and start making musicals. According to her, both Common and Legend would rather spend time together than with any of these women. She also said that she just wishes that people would know the real truth about Common, which, according to her, is that he doesn't love black women because all he does is use them socially, and he is always clout chasing at the expense of the women. Actually, according to Jag, it should be surprising that even though Common has been with all these famous women, none of them has ever spoken about his performance in bed.
And think about it. All of the celebrity tell you ain't never heard one of these talk about how dope he was in bed.
I mean, Jaguar may have a point, and she would know exactly what she's talking about cause she's dated Common. But we also have to consider the possibility that Common has trouble settling down cause of other things. For instance, according to what Angela Rye suggested, there's a possibility that Common doesn't want to be committed to someone because he doesn't want any more kids, or a family for that matter. This is actually something that Angela confirmed on her podcast On One with Angela Rye, where she said that they wanted different things because she was leaning towards I want kids, and he was leaning towards I don't know. And according to Angela, when somebody tells you they don't know, they don't really want what you are suggesting, they just don't want to hurt you. Maybe this was one of the reasons he broke up with the women he's dated. It's possible that some of them probably wanted to have kids and a family, but Common told them what he told Angela Rye. Or maybe just like Tiffany Haddish said, Common is just the type that prefers to move from flower to flower with no intention of settling.
He might be the type of person that never really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness.
We are also talking about someone who specifically said that he is usually solely obsessed with the pursuit and early stages of a relationship and eventually gets bored and drops everything.
Pattern I found myself in, and what was called love addiction, who my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and this that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that feeling. When that feeling would go away and the real part of relationships came, I was like, okay, do I want this or not? Like, I wasn't ready to do the work.
He was out.
Yeah, it was ready. I wasn't ready to do the work when it.
Well, fans had pretty high hopes with Jennifer Hudson, with some sources even revealing that Common's mom was finally happy that he had decided to settle down for real. However, sources close to JHUD spilled that she does not see herself getting married to Common because she is not ready. First of all, for the obvious reason, which is that Common has totally lived up to his name when it comes to women. The source revealed that even though Common came into Jen's life and swept her off her feet, Jude is worried about Common's past with so many famous women and is pulling away from making a hasty decision. But let's be real, guys, isn't this something Jen knew before she got into this relationship? Common's business has been all over for years, so it's honestly just ridiculous that she's now in doubt about marrying Common because of his history with women. People also said that they've spotted subtle signs of trouble, like fewer appearances together, a change in body language, and cryptic posts from Jennifer that have people reading between the lines. And get this, allegedly Common could already be getting distracted by someone new, and the speculation has only grown louder after a few unconfirmed reports claimed he's been seen out and about without J. Hud, looking a little too friendly with other women. Honestly, I don't know for certain where that relationship with Jennifer stands, but at the end of the day, when it comes to Common, we're not talking about failed relationships with everyday women. These are powerful, high-value women who could go toe-to-toe with any man in the industry, and yet every single time, it fizzles out. And even his mother allegedly wonders why, with such incredible women, he has never locked one down. Who knows, maybe those rumors about him preferring to be with men rather than women are true. But before I get too ahead of myself, let me know what you think could be the problem in the comments section down below.